My name's Michael Joseph, I'm the chairman of the Morgan Three-Wheeler Club, and a very warm welcome to this training day. It's the first time we've done this, so we're not quite sure how it's going to go, so you have to bear with us if there are any hiccups on the way. The turnout from the membership's been fantastic. We've got about 80 people here today, a great turnout of cars in the car park there. There is a gap in the club, I feel, that you buy a car and then you think, I've got to drive it, I've got to look after it, and it's quite a steep learning curve for most people. It certainly was for me, and so what we're trying to do today is to reduce the gradient of that learning curve and get you underway and get these cars being used and out on the road.
As long as this contact breaker moves like it was originally designed to do, okay? It moves fully one way and fully the other. It'll give you somewhere in the region of 40 degrees of movement.
This is something I've only just become aware of. It's called a vapor box. So it's called a vapor box. Would you like to show that round? Okay. Basically, you do nothing with the brush other than hang it on a hook in the vapor box. But there is a sachet in there that the contents of which releases a vapour that stops the evaporation or the drying of the brushes.
It's been a really informative day today. I've always had a little maintenance sort of schedule that I have with the Morgan, but really want to be more self-sufficient, so it's been really good to hear some very experienced people talk about some practical things.
I have met lots of people, and it's quite interesting that some of them have had a project in the workshop, some of them for 40 years, and they're thinking, oh well, and this has inspired them and they're going to get back to it. So I've had, from my initial what I wanted to try and achieve is already there, because people are coming up to me and saying this is what they want, this is what they it's given them the spark to get them going. So it's been really good from that side of things.
These do not have a pilot jet. The pilot jet is a fixed drilling incorporated into the jet block. You do have a pilot control, but it's an air screw. The fuel delivery rate in these is fixed, and you vary the air control rate with the air screw.
Up on there,
yeah.
Legs straight, just slide down into it.
Yeah. Oops.
Perfect.
This is how Graham does it.
Now, it's got a very heavy, very short travel clutch.
I've only ever driven as a passenger in a three-wheeler, but I'm hoping to have a drive today. I think I might crunch a few gears. I'm a bit worried about that, but I'd like to have a go because I've been very curious.
I didn't rev it enough then, did I?
As the car moves, the revs will drop. So that's the time. So be a dribble rev, dribble rev, dribble rev, dribble rev. Okay, there you go, you're right.
Oh, I see what you mean. It took me a while to be confident because I was afraid I'd lose control and go into the barriers. But I think probably I would get into it after a bit. I really enjoyed it. Having the chance to try the Morgan, actually driving it, which I haven't managed to do for 7 years, really, since I've known Graham. It's encouraged me to carry on and nag him to let me do it.
My name's Nick Jeffrey. I've been in the club probably 40 years nearly, since early 70s certainly. And I bought a car, GW39, well known in the club, 1932, 3-speed super sports, owned by a guy called Colin Sampson. And I bought it in bits. I've had it for years, and today was a wonderful day to come along here and remember how things were 40 years ago when I last drove it. It's currently with George Derbyshire, who's doing a wonderful rebuild job on it, so I hope to be out in it, well, maybe later this year, but probably next year.
My name's Roy Lund. I'm from Bourne-Knowleswick. I call it Yorkshire. And I've been in the club now 27 years. I think it's been very informative, actually. I've listened into the seminars, and yes, I've learned stuff that although I knew, but I didn't know why I knew it. So now I know how to make a mess when I'm servicing my car.
I played around with old motorbikes for donkey's years, but I'm a sort of Morgan virgin, and today I've got a lot of good advice and hints and tips, and I've learnt things technically, but I've also got the confidence to get in my Morgan and use it, which I hope was one of the objects of the day.
This event today, it was a first. We didn't know what response we were going to get, and it had to be kept to a reasonable budget. The event has been subsidised by the club, but I didn't know how many people were going to come. I've been overwhelmed. We've had 98 people today, would you believe? So that's very impressive, and thank you for coming and taking up the opportunity.
I said to Michael earlier that I thought it was a super idea. I think it's been really well organised. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been great even just to put names to faces to me, because I always hear a lot of names but don't always know what people look like, so that's been lovely as well. I've had a chance to drive 2-speeder, our own 3-speeder and an F-Type, yeah, and really enjoyed that as well. So I think it's an excellent idea. It's been well carried out, and I would say thank you very, very much just for putting it on.
The day has gone really well, and I'm sure it's something we want to repeat. I'd be very happy to organise another one. There are a few bits of tweaking and tuning we could do. I think the biggest complaint was that people wanted to be in two places at one time, because we had the driving arena and we had the technical side going on in the marquee as well, so they couldn't do both. So they had to sort of nip in and out, and they also with the museum and so on. So rather too much to do. So given that we might well do it again, I think we probably aim to do a little bit less, but enable people to either have a spell of driving or alternatively do the technical side. But yeah, no, it's gone well.
Absolutely, I really had, it's been a really valuable day today. We really need to do more of this in the club. It's apart from the social, this is one of the best things about the club, doing this event.
It's not just me who had the idea and sort of set it all up, but I've had an enormous amount of help from our tutors talking on the technical side, people doing the driving in the arena, help with pitching the marquees and the tents and all the logistics of getting the equipment here and getting it back home again. So my thanks to all of them. It's been really good, and you know, I'm aware and very grateful for their contribution.